Number 10, how do you feel about being away from home for the entire summer? I think I'll do okay. This last summer, I actually spent 2 months of it in Guatemala in a very small village. Um, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a great study abroad opportunity. I got to work with kids in the schools there, a first grade class, a third grade class, and a sixth grade class, and learn a lot more Spanish and teach them English if they wanted to know, and tutor math, which was a lot of fun. But we didn't really have access to a lot of technology. We had very spotty internet. It only would work every once in a while, so I would write email upon email upon email to my family, and then as soon as we had internet, send out giant emails with just like dates along them of all the times I like wanted to talk to them and couldn't. We also did have cell phones that were prepaid, but again, it was a little bit spotty, and you could only buy minutes on certain days, and the minutes went really fast and they were pretty expensive. So I only got to talk to my family about once every 2 weeks, which was really good, but the conversations couldn't be more for more than like 6 or 7 minutes. Not exactly what you want, but it was still a great experience, and I wouldn't not do it again. Like, it was that worth it. And I think I'll be able to do summer camp in Northern California just fine because I did 2 months in a small village in Guatemala and survived that with a little bit of homesickness near the end, but it went okay. And I know I'll probably get homesick this summer if I do end up working for you guys. But the advantage to that is I can call my parents a lot more easily, and it, homesickness passes. It's not something that I can't deal with. 11, what is the most important thing you are looking for from an employer? For me, I think it's gonna be fairness in a working environment that's safe and fun and works well for everyone, not only the employer, but the employees, and even in this case, the kids that we're helping at camp. Um, I have that in my current job. I really like my bosses in my current job, and they make it a good environment, and they make it a very fair environment for everybody involved, and I think that that's important. Number 12, tell us about the last time you spent time with a child or group of children. For my major at Cal Poly, you have to do field experience classes where they put you in a school, and 50% of the time you do grunt work for them. You make copies, sharpen pencils, help with anything they need help with, and the other 50% of the time you're in the classroom helping with the work, helping children in small groups or individually, helping with lessons if they need it. But it's supposed to be an equal opportunity for both the teacher and the way that they get some work out of us, they get help, and also for us that we gain experience in the schools. I was able to do that this last quarter with a group of, or actually, it was a school, Fine Arts Academy, and it was a class of both fifth and sixth graders. And I was there for their English and math time. So I was there almost all day in the mornings on Fridays, and it was a ton of fun. I really like that age group, the fifth and sixth graders, because they're still kids and still having a lot of fun and not too cool for school yet, but they're starting to get to that age where they think they're too cool, and it's just a lot of fun to see and a lot of fun to experience. And I was able to work in a lot of small groups with children and help them out with math. Math was a lot of fun to tutor them in and to help them out with. Their English groups were also great. I also was able to work with multiple groups of children in Guatemala this summer. Tutoring math, I did multiplication tutoring, which was interesting, and I now know my numbers and terms in math very well in Spanish. And I also taught many English lessons to first graders and third graders. Colors, basic things, anything that they just really wanted to know. We made games out of them and ended up having a lot of fun. And I think before that, working with children has always been in a field experience or volunteer capacity. I volunteer sometimes with different organizations that do children's like day in the park or any of that kind of thing. So working with children is actually a huge part of my life. Number 13, if you could ask us one question about our camp, what would it be? I actually struggled a lot with this question because I'm an organizer and a little OCD about things, and I tend to research things that I'm really interested in. And so I do know a lot about the camp from your website and from different um, counselor reviews or testimonies of camp and stuff like that. So I couldn't really think of a question that I'd like to ask you besides just general questions about how the camp works and runs and like schedule wise. But I figure if I get the job, I'll learn a lot more about that. So my question that I'm going to ask is more along the lines of what is your favorite memory of camp? Is there a specific one involving an activity or a kid or anything like that, because those stories always tell so much more about a camp than technical questions of how does this work or how does this run. It lets me know the more personal side, which I like a lot better. Number 14 is the activity sheet. I would feel comfortable helping out or leading any kind of activities in arts and crafts or lanyards or anything like that. I have a lot of experience in that just from camps that I've gone to or camps that I've helped out with. And just resources of being a future teacher. There's a lot of websites out there that I know of that have fun little crafts that are also educational, but just fun crafts anyways. I also have done different ropes courses. Just me as a personal have done them. I haven't ever been trained on anything, but I think it'd be really fun to learn. So that's something that if I got training for, I could help out with doing some kind of ropes course or anything like that. I've also have done different stuff with like rifles and shooting and things, but that's more because my dad's a police officer and most of my family hunts. I don't know if I'd really want to go in that direction just because it's not something that I'm super into. It's something I know how to do because of how I was raised and who my family is, but it's not something that I really enjoy. So I'd say a no on that one, but it is something I know how to do, and if you really need somebody to help out with it, I can. I also have done various sports just as a player, not as a coach. Basketball a little bit, and actually that's pretty much it for your list of sports is basketball. But I, again, haven't done it in a really long time. I also did volleyball, but I haven't done that in a really long time either, and I've never done it as a coaching environment. The thing that I think I might be most good at on the activities sheet, besides crafts and lanyards, is horseback riding. I've always loved horses, and my aunt owned horses when I was younger, and so I went riding with her. And I learned English first, actually. And just this last quarter, I'm taking a class at Cal Poly that's Animal Science 214. It's equine management, which is we're learning all about horses and how they react, how their behavior is, how they function, just everything. And then we also are leasing a horse for a quarter and being able to ride on it. So every Monday, Wednesday morning, for 3 hours each of those days, I'm up at the horse unit at Cal Poly riding a horse. The current horse that I have, his name is Buddy, and he's pretty old, but he and I get along great. He's a little bit of a slowpoke, but once he gets going, he's great. With this class, I feel like I have enough experience that I could definitely help out with leading horses or leading children on trail rides or anything like that. I would feel more comfortable with obviously people there. You have wranglers that help with the horses and everything. So I could help out with that. I could be an aide, but I wouldn't feel super comfortable doing it on my own just because I have been around horses a lot, but not enough in a group environment of lessons kind of thing. I can teach people off what I know and what I've learned, especially in this class that I'm taking right now, but it's not something I've done a whole lot before. I would love to work with horses though. They really are the main thing that I want to get involved with. I want to be able to do this every summer, even when I am a teacher, is help out at summer camps, and horses are a main thing that I would love to do. If I had more concrete experience, I would definitely apply for the wrangler position because it would get me around horses more, but I also love children, and I think this would be a perfect combination of the two. Number 15, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your interest in this position? My interest is a 10. I have decided that I want to be a camp counselor this summer, and I've applied to different camps, but I like yours the most, and I'm trying really hard for this one. And I I've worked every summer at my current job, which is just a student manager at a bookstore, so I don't really get a whole lot of experience with children there. And I think it's time that I started working on my resume a bit more. And this will help with my resume as well as just getting me in an environment that I would love, being outdoors, being with horses, being with kids, just a enjoyable time and an enjoyable summer, and be able to have it be a job and be able to have it used on a resume would be a like combination of everything that I want right now. And so I'm really interested in this job and I really want this job. Number 16, what do you believe you will contribute to our summer camp if you're hired? I believe that I will contribute as another counselor to help you with whatever you need to make children's experiences the most enjoyable that they can have this summer, to just be there for the children and be there for you to be able to run your camp as smooth as it needs to be. And I believe I can do that. So I hope you hire me. Number 17, in summary, why do you want to work as a camp counselor at Walton's Grizzly Lodge? I really want this because I want to be in an environment with children this summer, to be more in a direction that my career is going to go. In my current job, it's a lot of fun and I love the people I work with, but it's not at all anything to do with what I want to do, which is be with children and teach, to inspire, to create, to influence a children's life, to change something, you know? It's what I want to do and I want to work with children, and I think working as a camp counselor will get me a lot of experience and it'll get me the experience that I'm looking for with working with kids and with having fun and being a summer job that will be great. Thank you for considering me.